Hey, Aquarius, Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your quarter 3 reading for July, August, and September 2025. If you are interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome. Aquarius, what is happening for you over the next 3 months? You have here, bottom of the deck, the Chariot. There is a turning point. This is a big, pivotal, monumental moment that is coming up here for you. When you have the Chariot, this is saying here, it's time to find your focus. It's time to race towards your success, your abundance, your victory. And there's no turning back. You see that this woman is coming out of the woods, and the woods may have been a bit dark. You can see the shadows that are on the trees. You see that maybe this place that she's come out of, she may have even felt a little bit lost. And sometimes we need to get lost to find ourselves. And she's coming up to this clearing, and there is a path ahead of her. And there's light. There's beautiful flower fields, and there's still some mountains. But this tells me that even though there may be some challenges that you face ahead, at least you're facing them with clarity, with strength, and you have this newfound skill that maybe you didn't have prior to going into the woods. And I feel like you have the ability to face anything that does come towards you with a greater understanding, a greater awareness. And so that ginormous struggle or challenge that you may have gone through in the past, even if it comes up in a different way down the road, it will be an anthill compared to what you've gone through, because you now have the wisdom here. I feel like there's a turning point that is quite impactful, and you actually start off in the month of July with a new life. So the new life is like the Fool, right? You may be thinking outside the box here. You may be literally moving or relocating to a new home, a new community, a new tribe. Some of you, this could be in your business and maybe in your career. You are seeing things from a new perspective and a new understanding. And it's interesting because you also have the Ace of Swords, which is the Ace of Truth. You see the diamond is showing up on this illustration. You're getting crystal clear about your path forward. And once you know, it just feels like everything lines up for you. Once you make a decision, once you have this aha breakthrough, it feels like there's a one way forward here, and you're not going to look back. You're not going to fall into old habits again or old patterns. And if they do try to rear their ugly face up and try to hold you back or try to distract you, because the devil is here, I just feel like you have the sense, or you have the emotional maturity, you have the capacity to deal with this now in a new way. Okay. And that may be what's changing here in your life. That may be the newness. So this could be a pattern that you've struggled with. You've maybe went in circles with a Chariot. All right. There may have even been lack of direction, and you weren't quite sure, like, what do I do? How do I get out of this cycle? How do I let go of subconscious energies that may be repressing my fullest potential? That's why the devil is showing up. This can be materialism, codependency, manipulations, bondage, can be obsessions, addictions. Anything that can tempt us for a quick fix or a quick feel good, but ultimately it leaves us feeling isolated, lonely, or abandoned. I see that you now know the difference. You know the difference between illusion and reality. And you are able to take a goal of yours, and you're able to turn it into reality, not through wishful thinking, through dedication, through consistency, and facing this devil. So I'm so proud of you here, because that's the difference between staying put in a comfort zone and taking and having the courage to step outside of that comfort zone. And that's why that new life is here. You are being asked to be spontaneous here and think of, what does it look like if I untether from the devil? And once you get a sweet taste of what that looks like, I just feel like there's no stopping you. Now, some of you, this is a person that you've been dealing with. All right. This could be a toxic environment or a situation, an organization. I mean, the Five of Swords and the Devil is not a fun playground. That is the type of playground that has some rickety old swings. When you go to try to swing, when you want to have a little bit of fun, that chain is going to break. When you want to go down that slide, right, you are going to get burned because it's made of metal and that sun has been blaring on it for days. It just feels like it's not the playground that you had hoped when you first seen it from afar and you got up to it and everything was broken or missing or there wasn't anybody to play with. It just feels like it wasn't fun. And what you're doing now is you're getting clear and saying, wait, this isn't the environment that I want for myself. This isn't how I want to think. This isn't the type of self-talk that I want to incorporate if it's negative, right? I feel like you are facing some of those fears head on and you are accepting that something isn't as you thought it was, right? There's the illusion because oftentimes from afar, things do look great, right? We see a park from a distance and we're like, ooh, yay, that looks fun. And when we get up close, it can be ugly. It can be messy. It can be toxic when you start to get deep into something here. And that's what happened. You went into the woods. You got deep with someone or something. And I see that you realize it's not exactly what you had hoped for. Therefore, you're getting clear. You're accepting this isn't it. I'm going to embrace a new path. And it's showing up here in July. Now, in the month of August, you have come to the edge. There it is. This is the moment here of, okay, I know that I want something new. I want something healthier. I want support. I want abundance. I want to flow, right? I don't want to be stuck in the devil's playground. I don't want to be tempted to stay there because people keep saying they're going to fix that merry-go-round. They're going to fix that slide, right? They're going to fix the swing. I'm not going to sit there and wait for it to be fixed. I'm going to come to the edge here and I am going to change. I'm going to fix my own situation. I'm going to take accountability by stepping to the edge. So in the month of August here, this is that thinking outside the box. What else is possible? You're opening up to the possibilities here. I feel like you've been planning. You've been strategizing. Aquarius, you are the sword. And you have a brilliant diamond mind for that reason. There's nothing that you cannot think your way out of or strategize, but that mind can be used to destroy and it can be used to build. How do you want to use it? And I see here that you're saying, I'm not going to allow something to take me down or take me down with it. I'm going to rise above. And your clarifiers here, 7 of Cups, 3 of Coins, Knight of Wands. Boom, big energy here. There's your choices. This is you choosing wisely. 7 of Cups can be illusions, as I just mentioned. It can be ego, which we see here with the 5 of Swords. Your ego, someone else's, that may have been causing a little bit of fluff, cloudiness, or uncertainty in a situation. And now, as I mentioned, you are seeing things crystal clear. You're seeing through the distractions. You're seeing through the illusions, through the materialism, through the ego-driven clouds that may have been hovering over judgments, right? And it just feels like now you have this new path here, some new options ahead of you. And you're saying, okay, what is it that I truly want, heart and soul? What is it that I want in my life? This is the new life. This is you coming to the edge, a new thought process, right? A new belief system here. This is about you remembering your integrity, your values, what it is that you want in your life. And you're choosing. And therefore, Knight of Wands is saying, okay, I have made a choice. This is me setting my intention. And you see that she's pulling back that arrow. And she has her eye on the target, whatever that target is for you, Aquarius. Not only is she going to hit the mark, but she's going to get it right in the bullseye because it feels like she's been planning, she's been training. She has the stamina. Look at the strength of the horse there. She's not even on a saddle. She has her, her legs buckled in there. She is prepared. She's ready. She has the courage. She is excited to move forward on this new adventure. The Knight of Wands is fun, is enthusiastic, very courageous, very spontaneous, not afraid to take a risk. And that's what I see you doing here with coming to the edge. You're not afraid to take a risk because what have you got to lose? And some of you may be saying, well, Mel, I have a lot to lose. What if I take this risk and the devil consumes me? What if it's the wrong playground? What if I leave one playground just to go play in another? Try not to let those what ifs, because that's the ego mind that is coming in trying to cause you to stay put. Right? Our intuition, our heart, our soul is going to say, let's come to the edge here because we have grown in this old situation. There's nothing left for you there. People keep saying they're going to come help. They're going to come fix the playground, but it's not, right? So let's set an intention here. Let's align with the energies of newness. Let's align with support. And that's what's happening here. That's why you have the Three of Coins. This is cooperation. It is joining a playground that has lush gardens, right? Butterfly gardens and the merry-go-round and plentiful slides. And, it has so many more opportunities instead of just a crickety old swing with nobody there with some broken chains, right? It feels like there's not only the playground of your life, this is supported with a lot of other people to play with, to build your dream with. So I feel like you are being asked here to take a bold action towards your curiosities. Maybe even joining a new network of people through teaching, through maybe yoga, through a workshop, through a seminar, through a community of some sort, because all of you want to come together. You want to dance. You want to play. You want to have fun. You want to create a ripple is what I'm getting, like create a ripple. Maybe this is you being of service in some way to mankind or humanity. Some of you may even be coming together for like a nonprofit. I also see some of you contributing like volunteer work, or you may have other people that want to help you in some way, because I am getting the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, and that's why, because you have the Five of Pentacles here. So it feels like part of this three here is going to bring in some unexpected resources. Maybe it's financial resources. It could be resources from some form of external aid. It just feels like this is good. And this is a resource that you can depend on, you can rely on, and it's going to be physical. You can see it. You can have it in your hands. It feels like it is helpful. And whenever I get the hands, these are my healing hands. So a lot of you Aquarians out there are healers, and you may be guided here to share your skills, your talents, your magic with the world in some way. So set that intention, because I really feel like you're going to hit the target. Not only hit the target, hit the bullseye. I feel like you're right on the path that you are meant to be on. Now, in the month here of September, we have yin energy, and actually the yin is the Empress. It is the divine principle of receptivity. It is femininity here, and you have the Empress showing up here as well. So this is beautiful, but Spirit is saying there's still a couple of energies here before we fully receive the full-on abundance. Like when we step into that playground, right? It's like there's still a gate, and we can see it now, right? We see the gate or we see the playground, but we're right behind the gate and we need to open it. So there's still an energy here of what do we need to do to fully open that gate and allow that energy to come in. And I feel like, well, there's the King of Wands, beautiful, and the Five of Coins. So perseverance, the Five of Coins here showing up can be about the mindset. It can be about, well, pride and arrogance, which we see here. And I feel like you are coming to a point where you don't have to just persevere. You don't have to stay put because you feel like there's not going to be another park for years or miles, right? And sometimes we do. We stay put because we think, well, maybe this park, if I just stay in it, even that crickety old slide is going to be better than no park at all. But is it? Because then we start to sit in that mentality of this is what we know. We settle. And that's not you, not with the new life. Aquarius, you did not come here on planet Earth to quote unquote settle. You've come here to expand consciousness, expand your vibration, expand your mind, expand your body. And this is about regulating the nervous system, because you may have been in that fight or flight where you may have been tired and exhausted. And you may have said, well, I'm just going to go take a little nap on this slide over here or on this park bench. I'm just going to take a little nap. But I feel like you are resetting your nervous system. Some of you may be working on somatic healing, which is a favorite of mine because it makes a profound difference for those of us who've been through big T's and little T's trauma, right? It doesn't matter what you've gone through. The body keeps score. The body remembers. The body can get burnt out and tired. And the body is always giving us a warning signal. Just like your car, chances are your car is going to show some sort of light, in your dash if something is wrong. If you have a tire that it's too low, or if you need to fill up on gas, your body is going to tell you the same. So if you've been on this fight or flight, sometimes we keep running on empty and we need to stop. We need to take inventory of our lives and say, what do I need to do to usher in change? And that's what I see you doing over the course of the next 3 months. Now, I'm also getting here, some of you could be taking your finances to the next level by making a big, bold change. The King of Wands, he is the entrepreneur. He is the one who can be an influencer. And if you're not an entrepreneur or a business owner, Aquarius, you certainly have this leadership quality about you or flexibility that you are striving for. I feel like you're being asked here to not compromise your integrity for the sake of persevering. Right? You have a dream, you have a goal. Don't let this 5 of Pentacles, don't let maybe financial blockages, financial obstacles here that are hindering you from your dream. Make some choices, make some steps, even if these are baby steps. Whatever it is that you want to do, that King of Wands, he is dedicated. He is someone who marches to the beat of his own drum and he takes action. He's assertive. He's very resourceful. Where there's a will, there's a way. And as long as he stands true to his integrity, it doesn't matter where he's been or where, how he's managed to get to where he's at. It feels like he takes all of that, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, and he takes it and he says, all right, let me paint a new story. Let me paint a new picture here of what I want my life to look like. And I almost kind of get a rag to riches vibe here, where some of you lost everything, because this can be health. Maybe you've lost your health. To me, health is wealth. Without that, it feels like we are very stuck. Right? And I feel like you have taken action steps to maybe remove toxic patterns or foods or habits that have held you back from a dream. And when I see the 5 of coins, there may have even been like a loss of a home. This could be bankruptcy. Some of you have went through a divorce. Some of you had went through maybe poverty or homelessness, or you have struggled taking care of a loved one who had difficult health. And yes, I feel like you have gone through, the woods, right? You've gone through that shadow period, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of illusions, a lot of scary times. But you're going to use that to inspire you to live and lead a better life. So I love that the King of Pentacles is showing up here, because it's also the divine, masculine, but we have the Empress that is trumping everything. She is the major arcana. She is Mother Nature. She is the all giving, right? She never, how do I put that? When the garden is growing, she doesn't point out to the carrots and say, stop growing, right? She doesn't point out to the potatoes, stay at that size, right? She's constantly nourishing. She's constantly growing, and she wants to see everything evolve and grow in that garden. And yes, there may be certain seeds that don't sprout, and that's okay. She's okay with that because she knows that it's meant to be. Maybe that carrot next to the seed that didn't sprout, it needed more of the nutrients, right? It needed more of the dirt to take seed. It feels like you are being asked to grow and to trust the process, even if certain things have ended, even if certain things have maybe shown up in ways that you never thought possible. Because what I'm getting over here, it feels like there's a whole section of this garden that you didn't realize you had planted, but you've sown the seeds a long time ago. It's like you scattered those seeds out there and you're like, well, I hope that this sticks, right? Or I hope that I can have that happily ever after, that family dynamic or that financial abundance. I don't necessarily know what it's going to look like yet, but I have set the intention. And I see here that you're going to be walking through this beautiful garden, and it feels like you go over here and you didn't even realize that you had planted some cantaloupe, and maybe cantaloupe is your favorite fruit, and you're thinking, well, why wouldn't I have planted that? That is my favorite. But maybe you haven't seen that cantaloupe come up for years. Maybe it's been very sparse, right? Maybe you haven't had a lot of the fruits of abundance come up. Maybe you've had 1 or 2 carrots that were 2 inches long, right? I feel like there's been a scarcity of some sort, and it feels like by September, which is also harvest season here in the Northern Hemisphere, it feels like you are walking in a whole new area that is ripe with something sweet. And I'm getting orange. I mean, cantaloupe is orange. And you also have the orange on the King of Wands. And this is also the sacral chakra. So for some of you, this has to do with relationship dynamics, creative expression. It can also be about pleasure, joy, and sensuality. And the mother here, she's very fertile. She's very ripe. So you could be giving birth to something new. You are asked to unleash your creative abilities here and express yourself unapologetically, right? Not to apologize and say, give an apology to that carrot, or have that carrot give an apology, right, for not growing, because we trust in the process. You trust that's what's meant to blossom and grow based on the work that you've also put in, right? You can't just throw out the seeds, scatter them, and say, okay, what's going to grow is going to grow, right? She puts in the work. She's out there working in that garden, making sure that the weeds, aka the devil, don't strangle what she's trying to grow. And so you've had to pull those weeds. You've had to tend to your garden. You've had to water it. And I just see that over here, again, it feels like you forgot about that. You forgot that you had access to this part of the garden. And now it's like, okay, I've been doing the work here, but there's something that is sprouting from the work that you've done, but it may come in for you unexpectedly is what I'm getting. All right. I really like this Empress energy here. Yes, you have the Devil, you have the Empress as your 2 big major arcanas, but you have the Chariot, which means you are moving forward. I feel like you're definitely finding your focus here, and you're not letting that devil strangle your dreams or your goals, because what you want is profound. The dreams that you have for yourself, don't stop dreaming. But I feel like you are getting clear about, what is an illusion? What's false evidence appearing real? What is it that you can create? What do you need to do to create that life that you want for yourself? All right, Aquarius, we are going to get a few phrases, quotes, and inspirations here from this beautiful deck. It's called Inspire Ripples. A wonderful creator from South Africa sent this to me. And if you are interested, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your favorite phrase, quote, or saying in the comment section below the video. Because phrases are like, spells. Words are like spells. They create magic, and we can feel inspired by a quote. And I have a cute story here for you. back during the Q2 readings, I also had the same prompt. I asked the same question, drop your, or it wasn't a question. It was to get you into the free reading giveaway to drop your favorite phrase or something that has inspired you. And I love connecting and engaging with you all. So I do read all of the comments. And there was a phrase that a beautiful commenter had posted, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. And I grabbed onto it and I carried it with me. So the phrase was small but mighty, and it was one day or day one. And at that time, this was a few months back for the Q2 readings, at that time I had been thinking about incorporating a new morning routine. That morning routine, I wanted to be out on the hiking trails, on the bluffs at 6 a.m., connecting with the animals, with nature, with the water, and getting exercise, getting sunlight. And I had been thinking about this for a while, and I already have a beautiful morning routine, but I wanted to spice it up. I wanted to enhance it. I love nature, and I wanted to incorporate more nature in my morning routine versus just afternoon. And so I grabbed onto that phrase, and the next morning I woke up, I said to myself, okay, one day I can start this new practice, this new ritual. One day I can get out there and start hiking the bluffs, or day one. And I said day one, because I have a choice. I am in control of my own life, and I have the choice. But the devil is going to continue to tempt you and say, one day, right? The devil is going to say, one day you can write that book, right? One day you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Or day one, we can take an action step to get us closer towards our goal, our dream, something that fulfills us, some form of abundance. And that's what I did every day afterwards. And I'm going strong a few months later, where I have now made this into my morning practice. So I love these prompts because you never know when you may be inspired. So if you want to be entered into that free reading giveaway, where I do pull one winner on the first of the month, I post it back here on the community page. So please be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button. All you need to do, Aquarius, is drop your favorite saying, something that has inspired you, or even if you don't have one at this time, go ahead and check out other people's responses and feel free to borrow from their inspiration, because it could shift and change your reality. All right. It is never too late to be what you might have been. George Eliot. It is never too late to be what you might have been. And we get stuck in that mentality. We get stuck thinking, well, it's too late. It's too late to build a new life. I've been in this marriage for 20 years, right? I've been in this career for 50 years. It's too late, right? If you want it, if it is aligned with your blueprint, and it's something that your intuition keeps bringing up time and time again, then it is meant for you. You are meant to be brave and open yourself up to the possibilities, because where there's a will, there's a way. And I do see here there are resources. So you're not in this alone. You don't have to try to figure it out alone. Ask other people who have gotten to where you want to be, right? Connect to other energies here. Put yourself in that environment. It's not too late. For those of you that have that belief system, it's too late. I want you to work on dismantling that. Okay? Because you have everything you need. It's not too late here. This life, this night, your story, your pain, your hope, it matters. All of it matters. It all does. Sometimes we try to compartmentalize our story, and we tend to shove some of those pieces away in an old box, right, in the attic. And we say, I don't want to deal with that. I don't like that. That's not what I stand for. That's an old part of my life. And that's okay. If you have healed that part of yourself, right, and you're able to compartmentalize and stick it in the attic, then great. But if there are still parts of yourself, Aquarius, that you have yet to heal, it could be perfectionism. It may be an abandonment wound. It could be the need for external validation. It may be rejection. It may be manipulation or unprocessed parts of yourself due to abandonment of a parent or a death or a relationship that had ended. Whatever it is, it may be time for you to kind of dig it out of that chest, bring it down from the attic and unpack it so you can dismantle any of those old beliefs. Because doing the work will pay off. Doing the work will shift your perspective. Getting to the root of some of those limitations can help you rewrite your story. It can help you come up with a new ending that you want for yourself. Wherever you go with all your heart, Confucius. Yeah, bring your heart here, your heart and soul. And I see that here. You have that ability to do so. That's the mother of all, the mother of heart here. Okay, she's not the Queen of Cups, but she's the Empress, which is all 4 queens wrapped up in one. So even though I don't see a lot of cup energy, I have the 7 of Cups, which is choose wisely. I feel like the choice in itself that you are being guided to make over the next 3 months, maybe multiple choices. Spirit is saying here, take your heart with you. And lastly, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. This reminds me of the body, right? We feel like our body houses our soul, but it doesn't. Our soul exists within everything. Excuse me. And the body is a part of it, right? A body is a part of where our soul exists. So that's what I'm picking up on right away. And some of you are getting back in touch with your body. Movement, moving the body, moving your legs, dancing again, maybe feeling more mobile, especially if you were inactive or if you may have felt like you didn't have the energy to move, or you may have gone through a surgery, hip surgery, back, knee, ankle. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. There's definitely some new beginnings ushering in here. Aquarius, trust in your heart's compass. Trust in your soul's compass, because whatever this turning point is, it's big. And I feel like it is leading you into a new playground, a playground that has unlimited gardens for you to access, for you to tap into, and for you to continue growing, nurturing, and taking care of those seeds that have been scattered and planted just for you. Thank you so much, Aquarius. If you enjoyed today's reading, please hit that thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, of course, do comment your quotes below. And I am sending you all the love in the world. Till next time.